Good morning. Well, good morning. Maybe it's good afternoon to you. Welcome to Frank's School, 170th day. I think this is going to be the last day of the trip. Well, maybe there'll be 171 of the trip in Lisbon. And back in Lisbon, and I say this is Act 5 of this trip if you separate it into acts. This is Act 5. And it begins with a dance, I've decided. I don't know why I'm thinking like this. It wasn't the last day we were there. This was a Saturday night that I'll talk about, and Monday morning we just left. But Saturday evening, it was memorable. Saturday evening, standardly at the Alfama Patio Hostel in Lisbon, where I've stayed now on 3 occasions, there's a barbecue. I think is what they call it. I think that's what they call it, a barbecue. It's a party, where you pay and not that much either, and the food is great, and there's music. There's a guy comes in, what do you call it, a disc jockey. Well, in the old days you called it a disc jockey, but a guy comes in and he has the music and the microphones and sets it up and tries to get people to dance. Well, the guy that does that is Matador, is his nickname. I don't know what his real name is. And I recognized him 3 years before, I think. I think it was 3 years. It might have been 4. I think maybe when Erica and my daughter Erica and I had been there, the same guy had been doing the same thing. Now he looked a lot different. He's a bit of a strange-looking guy. Now he's got long hair and long loose clothes, and he's a little overweight. And anyway, he puts the music on, and then he dances around and tries to get the action going. And not meaning to offend, but I don't think he's a very good dancer. But I've thought about that. Judging dancing, that's a tricky thing. Because I think you could judge dance by how much joy somebody gets out of dancing, or how much joy or whatever somebody then imparts to others that are either dancing with them or see them dancing. And so I'm hesitant to say that, but I didn't find him graceful in any case. And his style was it was disturbing at first. There were not very many people there. I mean, in the whole event might have had 15 people, maybe 20. And dancing at any given time, there might have only been about 6. But he would go right into someone's face, dancing, almost challenging them to dance with him. Look here. So people would come into the hostel, go to their rooms, and they'd come in the door, in the patio, and he'd go dance right up into their face and dance as they would go by. And it was disturbing to me as an American. I think Americans especially have a certain personal space. Social distance, is that what you call it? That you don't come closer than that. I'm quite sure that people have found that that's true, especially of Americans. So if they travel to Europe or other countries, a lot of times people come in closer than that sort of bubble. I had a student once, a girl. She talked about her personal bubble. Don't get closer than. And anyway, I thought, boy, if he were doing that to a lot of Americans I know, they'd push him away. There'd be a fight. But he was so nervy that way, just right into people's faces. Well, there was a woman that came, and he'd go up into the audience. He didn't do it to me. And I think I would have been okay with it. I probably would have glared back at him. I don't know. I didn't dance that night. I was not. I was not going to be one of the dancers. But anyway, there was a couple that came in. And of course, he did that right into the woman's face. The man, I don't think, but right into. And I was watching this, because all this action wasn't much further away from me than the camera I'm looking at. And she went right back at him with her face. Real pretty, in her 20s, I would say, a woman. She right back at him. She was, if he was going to be nervy, she'd be nervy too. A little bit like I dare you to dance. Well, she dared to dance. And, gradually, I think they'd maybe come to dance. I suspect they had maybe gradually she took him on and danced with him. But it was a kind of dance that I have never seen before. Maybe it's a standard kind of dance in the Mediterranean in the year 2016. I mean, the music was there, he was playing the music, but I'd never seen anything really quite like it. Not fast. Well, I can't even describe it. I won't even try to describe it. But it was some of the best dancing on the part of the woman that I've ever seen in my life. And Matador, he made it happen. And they danced maybe total for about an hour. And her partner that had come with her, Yasmini, that's sort of what I think of her as, he danced with her too. And he was a good dancer too, but she was the one. You know, when you see somebody who knows that they are a good dancer, and they know that people love to watch them dance, and they're being watched, and they love that's fine with me. That's okay. Well, I can't recreate it, but anyway, I put Yasmini down here in King of the Khyber Rifles because I've sort of then and now too, I find myself remembering that. She was a character in this book of fiction, a strange kind of a book. Takes place in the Afghanistan mountains, I think, and I had all these Muslims, they were chewing their beard, I think is what it said, because she looked so good when she was dancing. She'd cast a spell. Well, anyway, it was a great pleasure to me. And you know, the next day, I have no idea who they were, but the next day, I think it was Sunday morning, they were leaving and they came down, and I had a chance to say to them, "Boy, I liked your dancing. Thank you for that." That was both of them. I know, and I had talked to the Hawklings were there, and they also realized that this was very, very fine dancing. We even said, how can they be dancing like that? And I think Shirley said, they must go to a dance school. They must practice this. They must go to a school. And I asked them, I said, where did you learn to dance like that? Do you go to a school or something? They said, no, we just love to dance. I didn't get their names, and I did find out that they were Italian. I was curious about that. They were Italian. She was from Rome, or is from Rome, and he was from a little bit east of Rome, maybe on the other coast, I don't know, so they were Italians. And I wished I'd gotten their names badly enough that later on, after they left, because they were just leaving then, and they were very friendly, I wished I'd gotten their names, because by now I had begun, and I'll tell you more about this in the rest of Act 5, I had begun to think about a movie, the possibility of making a movie. And if, I'll have to tell you more about that. And if I did so, I thought, I would love to be able to put her dancing into a movie. And I really had never seen anything or anybody really quite like that before. So I don't know, maybe sometime it would be fun if they somehow managed to find out I was making this video and they knew I was talking about them. But anyway, so Act 5 begins with a dance. It was quite memorable. All right, well, I tried to explain that. Bye for now.